Good morning everyone and welcome back to my channel on this beautiful day of January the 14th, 2026. It is 10:03 a.m. I hope that everybody is doing great. Welcome back, and in today's video we're going to start with the Revelation. So, Revelation part 1. Welcome back everyone. Know thyself. Seriously. Right now, there's a lot of things going on out there in the kingdom of evil. Okay? And I'm going through my own storm, which has absolutely nothing to do with what is going on. Like I stated before in my last video, when I asked you guys, what do you see? Okay? If I'm not involved, like if this is not something that is affecting me directly, I'm not going to be in the know, because in reality, I've been under a war since my son's incident. The enemy has waged a war that has absolutely nothing to do with me, but it has everything to do with my son. At this point, I cannot explain what is going on. But considering the manifestation and the actions, there's a lawless spirit moving around, and it's not good, and it aims to destroy. So that means that we have to move cautiously. Something is moving, and we do not have an understanding of what exactly is happening. And the religious aspect of this world is not speaking, is silent. Everything that we're looking at is coming directly from the beast of government. I have come to the conclusion that if 88 doesn't take us to 2028, then he's been put there as confusion. But because I understand a little bit of what he is doing, I can successfully tell you, this is your beast of the earth, and he's preparing the way. Everything that he's doing is foreshadowing itself. Never in the history of the presidency of the USA have I ever seen a man's action so calculated, so out there, so bold as to this man. This man told you this is the calm before the storm. He is a 9/11 code. That's not good right there. He told you he is a snake in the snake pit. He told you he was a snake before you took him in. You see, I'm going to tell you what I see. And we're going to start with this, because I have a question that I need to arise that is more important than what is going on. But because you guys are being entertained, I'm going to disrupt the entertainment. I'm gonna crash the party, because it's time to wake up. Something horrible is coming, and I don't think we are going to make it to December without something horrific happening. You need to understand what they are not talking about. You need to understand, this is not about color. This is about nationality, nations, people. People that are trying to take over. People that are foreshadowing the coming calamity, the wrath. They know what's coming. They need as much destruction, as much chaos, as much confusion. I want you to stop a minute and I want you to listen and analyze. My first question: do you believe that everyone that dies is innocent? Question number one. Do you believe that the death that we are looking at, these are innocent people? Do you understand the meaning of an innocent death? Do you understand the meaning of a targeted individual? And do you understand the meaning of putting yourself in danger? We got the Constitution confused with a shield. This is a piece of paper. It doesn't matter how or where this piece of paper was made or it comes from. It doesn't matter. What matters is that it's a piece of paper. The Constitution is written in a piece of paper. This piece of paper is upholding by the law to ensure your constitutional rights. But then we have this entity that is coming in, okay, that's been here shredding upon the Constitution and going against Americans. This is not about a passport. This is not about where's your papers. If it was that easy, then you should be able to produce them. When you have to travel outside or you have to come into the island, alright, such as me when I traveled back in 2000 when I came to see my dad, when I came in, they asked me, what country was I born in? Am I a U.S. citizen? Yes. Okay, proceed. Like, I'm still trying to figure out what's wrong with those two questions. The only person that will have a hard time answering those two questions is a person that does not have the correct answer. And they know that they're not doing things correctly. So we're going to put this to the side because right now this is a passport for injustice, because this is not about a passport. This is not about people. It's about the targeting of people, whether you are or you're not, and kidnapping people and point blank murdering people just because you can. This is a precursor of what the beast system is going to do. This is what the beast system is going to do. It's going to go house to house and it's going to ask you, where's your mark? And if you don't have it, this is what's going to happen. This is not about being American or being a non-American. This is not about possessing a passport versus possessing a visa. This is not about that. absolutely nothing to do with that. Which brings me back to 2020. The same exact thing that we're looking at now is the same exact thing that brought forth 2020. We had similar situations. And yes, they're not talking about the pharmakia aspect of it, but they're trying to bring back the covering of the face, and they're trying to, usher a red alert in regards to what is happening and people getting sick. We're not allowed to get sick anymore. It's illegal to have a cold. It's illegal to have a headache that you gotta run and get tested. But I'm still asking myself, what exactly was done to people? Because in the last 5 years, people are dying. And the main cause is a heart attack. And they die in their sleep. And they're having aneurysms. And something is happening to people. And they're just not the same anymore. So let me take a breather. Because this is what they're doing to your constitution. Alluring, this is not a safe mechanism. When those that are there to uphold it are watching these people trample all over it. Therefore, you can kiss your American citizen goodbye. Because it means absolutely nothing. Now, let's talk about you as a person. You as an individual. Not you as a piece of paper. Those that uphold a piece of paper do not uphold morals. With so much surveillance can do nothing for us. It doesn't stop crimes. It's only after the fact. Well, we got you on video. And then we put the video in question. And then we put the victim in question. And then we demoralize the victim. So, it's a victim or it's a perpetrator. We cannot be both. But when it comes to these people, we're victims. But my question is this. Do you believe that the murders that we're looking at, these people are innocent? Because I'm here to tell you, they are not. They are not. And you're not thinking about your children when you are facing these consequences. You are not thinking about your loved one. You are thinking about a constitutional paper. And I'm here to tell you, the wages of sin is death. Constitutional paper can't help you, nor will it save you, nor are you going to present a constitutional paper to my Heavenly Father. Because He has His laws and the Sabbath, which is the seal. So I want you to set yourself straight right now, because some of you are twisted. Actions. Actions. It's not what you say. Your mouth has the capability of condemning you. But that's when you're going against another person unfairly and unjustly. If you are using your mouth correctly to defend yourself, then you are defending yourself. Doesn't matter how you are defending yourself. But your actions is what damns you. You can't take it back once you take a life. And it's hard for these people to repent. You see, taking a life is the worst case of demonic possession. They'll never tell you that. People are demonically possessed. Which one of possessed and demonic do you not understand? Do you think that these people are having mental breakdowns? Do you think that these people are just under whatever? No, they're mentally, demonically possessed. The only way that the demon come out is by murder, self, or someone taking out the host. They're trapped. When the demon wants out, this is the outcome. But you don't believe, just like they will not tell you. None of the religious aspect is speaking. They're not talking. Nobody talking. Nobody. It's wrong. A weapon is used against another weapon. You cannot use a weapon against someone that does not have a weapon. That's called murder, last time I checked. That's intentionally doing harm. You're not above the law. Sorry. Boys in blue, the military, the police, whoever you want to call yourself nowadays, I forgot. I don't know. You're not above the law. I want you to understand your actions have die-hard consequences. That goes for anybody. What you choose to do is gonna come back to you. I see it on a daily basis. These demons are taking our children young without no works. But when you look at the parents, you see the curse. You see the wages of death waiting to manifest itself. Like if the enemy knows that he is targeting his own, those that he has corrupted, those that stand no chance, those that he can do away with because they belong to him. When you look at the condition of an individual, when you look at their life, what they stand for, their moral compass, by their actions and their fruits of their labor and their work, you shall know who they are. They are not of our Heavenly Father. They're in opposition. It's like having a dirty house, but you gotta go to grandma's house and you gotta clean grandma's house, but your house is dirty. How can you clean grandma's house but not your own? It's like putting on clean clothes and not changing your underwear and not taking a shower. Tell me how that's gonna go. That's exactly what's happening. You're standing up for a piece of paper, but you forgot that your house is dirty. You forgot that you got kids in your house. You forgot that you got a dog in your house that depends on you. You forgot. You're selfish and unnatural. Take a look. Take a look, because the word backs me up. Do you know the meaning of what it means to stand back? Do you know what it means when you're walking down the street and you see a mob? Oh, but this is the street. The street is free and I got a right to walk here. Why should I cross the street? Because that's a mob and you don't know their intentions and you want to avoid and you want to keep yourself safe and you don't want to seem like a threat. You understand? By you crossing them, they might perceive you as a threat. And the enemy attacks anything and everything that walks into its territory. The same thing I'm looking at when I see these people being demonically house possessed, and then they bring in a priest and things get worse. And then they start using the J name and things get worse. Because you cannot invite evil and then think that you're going to expel it. It don't work that way. That's not what rebuking is about. Rebuking is when something comes at you. When another individual is standing in front of you, trying to come against you for no reason. That's a demon. That's what you rebuke. That's what you hold at bay. But we gotta twist it. We gotta twist it. Our houses are filthy dirty. We are filthy dirty, but we want to uphold a constitution. Lord, have mercy on me, Father, because I can't be the only one that sees this. I can't. And you know what? It's sad. It's really sad. Look how low we are sticking. These people get paid for their job. That's their wages. The wages of sin is death. These people are dead. It's just a matter of time. There is nothing good coming to the dead. That should be enough for you. You are a reminder that their reward is coming because you see it. This is when you understand to stand back. This is when you understand they do not deserve your attention. This is when you understand that it's better to cross the street than to test your waters. It's not because you're a coward. The spiritual world is not for cowards. But it's not for the bravery of the flesh. It's for the bravery of the spirit. And the spirit is not foolish. The spirit is wise. Nonetheless, we don't understand that. We do not understand opposition. Just like I told people, I don't have time for you. 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 And I definitely don't got time for the street and bullshit. I have a son that needs his mother. And I have my pets that need their master. So I have to make it home. I don't have time to waste on your entitlement. I don't have time to waste on your evil looks. And I don't have time to waste on what you think I should be doing. Because you're not living my life. Live your life and enjoy it. These people don't enjoy their lives because they're not living. Life is living them. They're not living life. If you're living life, none of this is going to bother you. But it's time to move. It's time to relocate. And it's time to consider our location. I told you guys 10 years ago, get out of the way. I told you guys for over 10 years, okay, leave the big cities. They are going to present a problem. The time is at hand. And you need to understand that they are major cities that are on alert. And we don't know nothing about. But we hear the word on the grapevine because the devil is in the details. They are preying on your emotions with depravity. And you need to understand the difference. And yes, it's sad. We are losing people. We are losing people that are not recognizing their path. We are losing people that do not recognize that they do not need to stand for evil because evil contains the seed of its own destruction. You guard yourself against it. When it gets too bad in a place, what does the scripture tell us? Move on to another place. Seek a better life. Seek a better outcome. Why must you die young before your time? Why? 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 When they're getting paid. He got paid. He got paid for that day. And the payment came double. Nonetheless, time's short. Time's short. Most of these people can't repent. The demons have already too much of a stronghold on the individual. The only way out is the individual's going to be taken out as destiny foreshadows. You take a life, your life will be demanded. You shed blood, your blood must be shed. Or they end their life. There's no if or buts about it to come out of this. Or you get do away with. So if the street don't get you, the inside is going to get you. Everybody has a number. They don't see it. They don't see it. But the wages of sin is death. These people are dead. These people do not require anybody's attention. Their actions are disgraceful. It's just like, not too long ago, I was looking at videos of eviction, and I have to be honest, I had to ask myself, out of all the jobs in the world, how can anybody, literally do this job? Because I couldn't do it. Like, there's just no way that you can pay me enough okay, for me to go against that moral compass as to leave someone vulnerable in the streets without a second thought, without a plan, without nothing. Just get out, okay, because you can't pay your rent. Like, on a real note, all right, this is what these people are doing. Yes, I understand that, some people don't pay the rent. I understand that some people misuse the money. I understand that there's a whole bunch of scenarios out there, okay? But as a homeless person, as a woman that was in the streets, okay, I can sincerely tell you, it's not a good feeling. It's not. And I just would not be able to do that type of job. Like, you would have to be a completely soulless individual and not have a heart, because the majority of these people were put in the street without a second thought, and their stuff was put in the streets, exposed to the elements. So we need to ask ourselves, okay, we already have a problem because they're not paying the rent, but now we're having a second problem because now they're in the streets. And then when these people get put into the system and they fall into the system, they have to go into the system and they have to apply for the services, because through the services and through that open door is how the system gets paid to shelter you until you can get the voucher for whatever apartment they're going to give you. So it's just a revolving door of making money out of your demise. The more time that you're in that shelter, the more money that they get to collect from you. Instead of putting that money, okay, one-time shot, giving you an apartment, okay, and telling you, now you gotta keep it. Teaching you. The system don't teach you nothing. They do not teach you absolutely nothing. You learn by smacking the wall. And some people never learn at all. This is why we have so many people involved in drugs. We have so many people numbing themselves, because it's the system. The system glorifies that. Anything that makes the system money, they glorify. Often, it's your environment that got you sick. They got you taking drugs. They got you doing this. They got you doing that. They got you feeling like you got no hope. But you don't see that. You don't see yourself nowhere else. Because you're conditioned. If you don't see yourself nowhere else, you're conditioned. But if you see yourself somewhere else, my friends, I'm telling you, it's time to move. Get out of the way. Like, get the F out of the way. Get out of the major cities. Do something. But get out of the way. What's coming ain't a joke. And the majority of people are not prepared. Look at the desensitization that is happening with these people. That they can speak about a person that they just murdered in such a cold way. Like, that's not a human being. Like, what are we looking at? It's disturbing. What are people waiting for? For them to massacre a whole entire, state? Oh yeah. There's more going on in this state than what you are being told. The immigrants, this is just a cover story. There's something very sinister going on here with these Somalian people. And I am telling you, these people are a problem. Because this is a radical mind. There's something that we're not being told, and it has to do with these particular people and corruption. And it goes very deep. And as much as you want to hate 88, 88 is doing exactly what his master wants him to do. If not, he's not going to be there much longer. The man is the devil's advocate. Of course he's dirty. In order to catch a criminal, you need to think like one. You need to act like one. We no longer have your KKK. You don't need it. You don't need them when we got these people. We don't need Nazi Germany when we got these people and their modern technology. Something wicked happened in Venezuela and they're not talking about it. You're not going to tell me that you're going to invade a country and you're not going to have no casualties and it's going to go swift and smooth like if that country was caught asleep. The conflict has been already well known. There's no way these people were sleeping unless you put them to sleep and caught them off guard. That's a different story. But I don't buy the narrative. Not coming from the establishment. I know the establishment is my mortal enemy. I understand that. Everything that comes out of their mouth, I take it as an opposite. If they tell me you need to stay put, I am going to take it as I need to run. If they tell me I can't have no water, I'm going to take it like I need a drink of water. No, not coffee. No, water. So I'm going to drink water because they said I can't drink water. So you see, for every don't do, you have to interpret it as you need to do. Because the name of the game is deception. So we got to ask ourselves, do you believe the narrative? Do you believe what they're telling you? Because I don't. I never did. I believe my eyes. I believe what I witness. What you show me, I take it like a piece of paper. You know? I take it just like a piece of paper. It has the potential to be 1 or 2. That's how I take it. But because I understand on a spiritual level that we're dealing with evil and that's what's manifesting themselves, then you need to understand that there's a lot more going on. A lot. And 88 is out for vengeance, and it shows. It shows. It shows because it also shows that there's a betrayal that went on. And what can I say? It is what it is. He has to live with that. He's being hunted. You don't see it? You don't see it? The man's not well. Dead people do hunt people. I want you to know that. Especially when you torture and you commit atrocities. You invite demonic entities that are going to hunt you. Most of these people are hunted. They're dead. They gotta feed the dead system. Because that's the only thing that makes them feel alive. Whenever blood is shed. It's wicked. What's going on, it's very wicked. It's very, very evil. And everybody that is anybody is going through something. If you're not, and you have time to entertain this madness, then you don't care about your children. You don't care about yourself. Okay? You value a piece of paper over your life, and this is why you're losing it. So continue, because I ain't got nothing to say, because I've cautioned people against this madness. We saw this back in 2014 in Ferguson, how people lost their lives. Okay, did it change anything? That we saw it again in 2020 with the Floyd. Okay, but nobody talks about the most devastating, bloodiest and bloodshed protests of the 1967 Detroit, which can compare to nothing to date. We forgot about Rodney King. Have these protests done anything? What about those that were protesting and were murdered because they just wanted to vote? What about them? Did it matter then? We are repeating history. And this time, we're not coming from it. 88 and his attempted assassination is a foreshadow of what's coming to this political figure that is going to embody the Antichristo spirit. This is a foreshadow. He's going to get shot too by a radical mind. And they're going to send it to you the same. What are we waiting for? To stand to the side and leave them on their own. We can't save no one. We can't stand for no one. Because then who's going to stand for us? Who's going to protect our children? They're going to fall into their hands. My friends, this is a double-edged sword. And one that has to be dealt with logic, knowledge, and wisdom to know that every action means something. You putting yourself in danger. You fall in the hands of these people. They're coming after your children. Who are they giving your children to? They're taking them. Your constitutional paper ain't going to help you. And unless you got money, who's going to touch you? You are falling victim. And you are becoming another statistic. This is wicked. You still think this is about papers? You still think this is about immigration? Let me tell you something. If you got somewhere to go, it's time to go home. If you came from somewhere, it's time for you to go back home. The United States is not the land of nobody. It's only the home to those that got nowhere to go. Everybody that has been in the USA has a place to go. Go back home. Go back home. My best advice. Go back home. That's not the land you want to be in. That land is being taken over. State by state. Slowly. In a psychological war that we can win. We don't possess the weapons. And this is not a fight against flesh and blood. This is a spiritual fight against principalities that are commanding these people. Yet, they will never admit that on top of everything we're looking at, there's a diabolical power at work. Time's short, my friends. Time's short. And those that kill with the sword will be killed with the sword. And those that take into captivity will be taken into captivity. These people's time is short. They are being used. And when the enemy is done with them, he's going to cast them away, as he's done with everybody else, including musicians. When he's done with you, he immortalizes you. Yeah. You become worth more dead than alive. A real normal human being with a moral compass, when approached by the devil himself to make a contract, would never accept it. Only a desperate soul that's empty and void of anything that is perceivable good and fruitfulness and empty will fall into this madness. because they lack all the above. These are the people the enemy targets. Illiterate people. They're not smart. By far. They are not intelligent people. Intelligent people don't sell their soul. There is no need to sell my soul for a plate of food. None. So you tell me where we're going, because we got problems, and they're spiritual. And it begins. The spiritual war begins, and it's intensifying. We cannot misinterpret the foreshadowing that it's going on. Alluring that if this year doesn't end with chaos, you can surely expect 2027 to be the year where you can kiss goodbye life itself, because nothing is going to be the same. There is a foreshadow. I am looking at the same things that happened in 2020 and the foreshadowing that they did. Okay, I'm looking at it now, but in a different way. Not focusing so much on the pharmakia aspect, but bringing forth a different type of destabilization, catastrophe, murder, bloodshed. The enemy is coming to conquer through bloodshed, but we need to look at who he's targeting, who is dying, what's their spiritual condition. But if you yourself are dead, you're going to fall prey to the archons that are harvesting your energy, which they need. They will never show you anything of kindness and love. But if they do, it will be fictitious. It will be fake. After all, you got something like that walking around with blonde hair and blue eyes, which I have to ask myself at this point, where does the white race really truly come from? Because it allures that this particular white race that we're speaking about is it's nothing to do with us. It's out of origin, meaning it's an unknown origin. These people are bred for this, like they have, this charisma. The camera loves these people because they're not human. They are everything that we would like to be. No, you don't. These people want to be like you. These people need a meat suit. They look good. But underneath, they don't shower and they don't change their underwears. And from the past, you can tell that these people lack hygiene, both spiritually and physically. Because they really stink. You see, the devil cannot linger in a place that is clean. The devil and his minions can't linger in a place that's harmonious. A devil and his minions cannot linger in a place that projects peace, tranquility, that brings forth awareness and understanding as to what consciousness is, as to what it means to walk, what is each step means, what each action means, and what each word means. Everything has to align. The enemy can't align. He does not stand for that. He does not stand for balance. He stands for injustice. He stands for depravities. He stands for damnation, for slander, for evil, for wicked, for manslaughter, for, shedding blood, for going against innocent people, for going against people's rights. Immigration is a civil right. So it has to do with civil matters. It's not a criminal matter. What they're doing is criminal. But the American citizen. Therefore, you are the enemy. There is no greater enemy than the one that doesn't perceive itself as one. At this point, take a look around. They are targeting innocent people. They are fishing. They did it here. They do it everywhere else. Yet, 2 simple questions is what they ask. 2 questions. Are you a U.S. citizen? And where were you born? 2 simple questions. Any American will answer that in a conversation without even asking. And they would not think it a second thought. Yet, these people have a hard time answering the question. They are the ones that are being targeted. Because those that answer the questions, they're being let go. Not to mention, we have a lot of fake passports, we have a lot of fake driver's license, and we have a lot of fake paperwork that can get you, okay, to look and seemed like you're legit. But when you take the mask off, this is the problem. I expressed my experience where I was working for a temp agency, and I was hired to, take a look at a bunch of papers and to identify the fake SS and IDs and paperwork, such as birth certificates. And I told you guys what happened. By the time I was done, the guy tried to bribe me so that I can, recount the amount of people and just, narrow it down to a few small people so that, he can continue with his cheap labor and avoid taxes, obviously, because illegal immigrants don't really pay taxes, and most of these people were paying taxes under somebody else's social security number because the papers were not theirs. But this is not new. This was happening back in the 90s. So, but because I didn't know anything else, I, walked in the next day and they said, oh, we called the agency, we don't need you anymore. And I'm like, oh, that's fine. That's even better. Because you can't buy me. Sorry. I choose if I want to sell myself. But you can't buy me. You can't approach me and say how much. It don't work that way. Sorry. I'm not a streetwalker. It don't work that way. It don't work that way. One thing is a person wanting to enter into some type of business and you want to sell whatever it is that you want to sell, okay? And you want to engage in that type versus somebody come to you and telling you, listen, I want to buy your silence or your compliance, or I want you to go against your job. No. You hire me to do this. You didn't sit me down and said, listen, this is the plan. This is what I'm going through. You didn't give me a backstory. You didn't prey on my sympathy. No, you want me to straight up, lie, and you want me to, basically throw the noose on my neck. So then maybe later on down the line, that can come against me some way, somehow. No, thank you. You see, I gotta be able to sleep at night. Because I have conscience. And I already went through enough. I don't need my conscience continuing to bother me, okay, about something that I have the capability of walking away, and it's really not worth it. But do you know, I never really said what he offered me. Do you know what he offered me? He offered me a permanent position as an administrative assistant. Not as a, resource, clerk or intake. No. He offered me a permanent position. I was a temp agency, okay, and paying me good money. And I said no. That was like, I think that was like the most disturbing job that I have ever really encountered as a temp agency, that I can honestly tell you this man was a creep. Like, I've worked for lawyers, they were creeps, and they just want to sleep with you. But no, this man was different. And it was always like a double-edged sword, always double meaning, trying to make a pass at you, like he felt like, I own this company, I'm a rich guy, and I can do whatever I want. And I'm like, you got the wrong person. Like, I'm not feeling this. Like, I'm not buying what you got to offer. But this is the real world. This is not new. This has been going on. The simple fact that we're looking at all this revelation coming through, and worse things are yet. Let me tell you something. Before this man leaves office, if he is, okay, which I highly doubt it, alright, but if this man ever does leave office, I'm telling you, this man is going to leave. A can of worm opens that we are never coming back from. This man is not leaving unless he goes through a war. And even then, he's willing to fight. The war is not against us as much as it is against the inside, because he's exposing them. We're not sure what he has done. The rumors are there. You can speculate. Okay? The pictures speak 1,000 words. Alright? We don't need to continue to debate between the X-Files and him. Whether they were friends, whether they were not friends, whether they were involved, whether they were not involved, whether he went to his house or whether he didn't go to his house. It doesn't really matter. What matters is that eventually, if he is affiliated, it's going to come out. You can't cover everything. And it comes to show that the devil doesn't know everything. If he did, he would prepare himself from the beginning. That's not happening. They're being exposed. And whatever entity is behind them, they're being exposed right with them. This is a communist mentality that is coming forth. No different than the conversion mentality and the religious war that is coming. That's what the four horsemen of the apocalypse are mostly about. Nonetheless, that's the start. Right now, we are looking at rehearsals that are coming to pass. If you take a look at everything that we have gone through, it's in scriptures one way or another. Can you connect it? Plagues, famines, starvation, hunger, the, lack of things, wars, going against people. But they want you to think that the 144,000 are, divine people that are just going to miraculously appear. And they only confine to the fake, JEWs, which consider anything outside of them anti-Semitic. And they go against everything, that is not like them. Nonetheless, they are the army and the instigators of the enemy, and they do his bidding. We already know that. We don't need to debate that. We already know a lot of things that are happening. This is the year of testimony, law, and responsibility under the number 10. You are about to witness evil rise. And it's going to become bold. It's going to become bold that we're dealing with evil. We're dealing with a mentality that is going to go against us. It's time to prepare spiritually, psychologically, and physically for the battle that is coming. But this is spiritual. If you can't see things spiritual, the physical is going to deceive you. If you can't discern the times, you will be deceived. And there is no if or buts about that. You cannot make that up. This is why everything is being foreshadowed right now. And not only is it being foreshadowed, but we can look at it. We can see it. We can witness it. We can compare it to scriptures. It aligns perfectly. But they're causing chaos and confusion because they don't want people to know. They're not interested in people knowing the timeline, so they're hiding it because it's becoming evident that something is not right. It's becoming evident that something is happening to people. It's becoming evident that people are dying under mysterious, circumstances. It's becoming evident that these things were not happening prior to 2020. It's becoming evident that 88 is at war and it's internal, it's within, and the principalities in this world are at war with each other for power and control, and they are going against people and they are exercising civil laws. You need to understand that's a foreshadow of Revelation 13. This is what the beast of the earth, which is government under the beast of the sea, which is religious, is going to do. This is going to get worse. How about them dragging you out to go worship on a Sunday or be put to death? It's coming. It's coming. But I want to leave you with this question because in part 2, this is the question I'm going to focus on. Who are the souls in Revelation 13 that are going to reject the mark of the beast and be persecuted? Who are they? You need to understand who are they because you may be one of them. We are dealing with Gentiles and we are dealing with the promised child, which are the seed of Jacob and the 12 tribes, which are the 144,000. You're either a Gentile and you need to be redeemed, or you're chosen and you are being awoken. Nonetheless, the chosens are not going to be sealed for absolutely nothing. The sealment carries a meaning. And you need to understand what the difference is. Because it's spiritual. You will not see it. You will not see the mark. You will see the supernatural protection that those people are under. The mark is for the destroyer. That angel that is coming to usher judgment on behalf of our Heavenly Father, he needs to see that mark. Because he will not be touching you. You will be spared because you have been faithful. Because you have been put through the test. Because you have been refined and found worthy. That's why you will be sealed. You will be a witness unto the Most High. You will testify of His glory and His majesty. That's the part they don't want you to know. This is why they don't talk about you, but they talk about the devil, because that's who religion serves, whether they acknowledge it or not. This is why our Heavenly Father is going to tell us, depart from me, I never knew you. Whose temple are you walking in? Key question. Until next time, take care. Have a beautiful day. Enjoy. I'll see you all in part 2, where we're going to dive deep into this question. And I'm going to share my findings. And they're going to align with scriptures. And you have choice to make. Because the people that are dying, they are not innocent. They have unfinished business. And you cannot expect a dirty house to clean itself. Why would you dare to go clean someone else's house when your house is dirty? How dare you step into someone else's territory when you yourself are filthy dirty? Do you not understand that those actions are the actions that are going to doom you? Combine that with your lifestyle. Combine that with the life's choices you've made. And you have a perfect recipe for a selection in a space in the midst of hell. Your actions condemn you, not what you say. But the world wants to convince you otherwise. Caution. I'll see you soon, people. Take care.